walking behind me again. So I wanted to talk about this for a while actually, and that is the whole like sexuality, gender identity, and stuff like that. You're probably, oh fuck, I'm turning off the video now. I urge you to stay, because I have stuff to say. You might like it. When you put everything back to its simplest state, simpler movement actually is more accurate. Its simplest movement, you'll get what I think is a circle or a dot or an abstract symbolic movement. Okay? And that in itself should tell you a lot. Like the abstraction. What does that mean? Well, gender is abstract. That's what it means. And everything is abstract. Therefore, you can try to hold things into certain areas because they are a way to identify them. You know, like, okay, that's a male form, that's a female form, that's an intersex form. There are other ones that are more tribal oriented, but I'm not going to, you can put that in there. You can put that in there, to be honest. However, once you see that you can have a gradient, right? Then it's like, okay, so you can have a gradient of biological gender. And if you don't think there's male, female, and intersex, and also trans technically, if you don't want to know how you look at gender biologically, that you could almost see them as their own kind of, I don't want to be rude, but how should I put this? Well, it's all natural, isn't it? It's all natural, really. That's how it really is. It doesn't matter where you look, it's actually all natural. So it's all natural. So trans people are natural gender. I know people are like, no, they're not, because men and women surgically made them this and that. It's like, so what doesn't really matter? Their body bits are changed. It's no different than the stem cells changing their genetic code. It's not really that much different. I mean, yeah, okay, it doesn't have billions of years behind it. Who gives a fuck about that? Like, that doesn't mean that difference isn't significant, besides it being, but you could almost argue that if you want, that it's all evolutionary, to be honest, which it kind of is. So, yeah, I don't buy that thing about how it's not natural or whatever. It's a better way to put it, it's all abstract, which is so obvious. If you see the trans people, if you see the male people, the female people, and intersex people, and all the other variations, there's probably other variations of that. You know, people who are born with disfigured body parts or whatever, you can almost consider them, in a sense, their own gender, or a sort of a primitive version of their own gender, of the male form or the female form, or some whatever, or some alternative variation. There's a lot of bizarreness that goes there, and that's what I mean about it whole being abstract. And so it's really like fucked up to hear people like disqualify, trans people or non-binary people or anything like that. It doesn't even make any damn sense when you really look at it. Look at all the art that's ever been drawn. You're telling me that every single piece of art is only male and female? Are you brain dead? I mean, are you actually brain dead? Like, what I should say is that maybe was a bit sharp, but you could say that there's a simplicity that or that's imbued through all. There's an abstraction. Oh, there you go. Saw some flash of some object, pillar, weird thing. What the fuck was that? Was that based on the tree there? That was weird. It was like a cartoon tree. Like, it was like a cartoon merged into a tree, or what the fuck that was. What the fuck was that? Just blink. I'm getting blinking hallucinations. Oh, wow, that's fucking trippy. It's getting dark soon as well. I need to start thinking about getting the fuck out of it. But so you have this thing where, there you go, seeing shit again. So you have all these different, the way we should really look at it is there's this limitation of abstraction that is in the biological gender, that's entirely biological limited. So that means that whatever the biology is capable of is a part of that limitation. That's how you should look at it. You know, you shouldn't be saying, oh, you know, we can only have men and women. It's like, no, you can have whatever the biological limitation allows. Do you know what I mean? That's the way that you should look at it. And then you go, okay, well, what's the simplest gender then? I'm not trying to, I think, you know, well, if abstract is everything, and that's absorption, then what's the most absorptive gender that we know of? In my understanding, it's female, and then male is the most reflective, like reflection, for many reasons. So it's quite clear, to me at least. Now you can, and I think that's going through the entire animal kingdom. Like you see it, there's like an absorptive quality to all these female genders, and then there's like a reflective quality to the male. But then you see these sort of in betweens, and that should just right there tell you like that it's a bit more nuanced than just, you know, male and female. However, there has to be a point where it gets simpler and simpler and simpler and simpler to the point that it sort of all the other stuff kind of breaks down. And that's where it starts to get difficult, because it could be that maybe it isn't even a female gender, is not the simplest gender. Perhaps it's even simpler than that. You know, like if you go down the evolutionary tree, when the first body parts like that were, you know, moving to be, they, you know, chances are strong that it was some kind of dot or tree-like structure, you know, which, you know, an absorptive structure was probably the first thing. It was probably the first like body part in that way. And so when you see that, and you know that, then it's like, okay, well, that's what it is. So that's the simplest thing, as best I can understand it. Then you have like the, you know, mental gender. So this is why you shouldn't be taking, you know, if somebody's trans, that's because that's just how it is. Like they were born, they were moved through the universe, they got to that point, and it led them to you know, to have like their limitations, and that led them to want to have alterations to match their mental gender, which is what I want to get onto, the mental gender. So the mental gender is very similar to in a sense the biological gender. You know, you have to think of it more like a color spectrum. You know, there's going to be people who behave female or male. I do that. I really do. I do have like a sort of female-ish side and a male-ish side, and it just happens to be whatever it happens to be in that moment. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hide. I'm not. You know, sometimes I'm female qualities with male aspects. What the fuck was that? Either it was an owl or a person using a whistle.
In retrospect, the animal, that was probably an animal sound, not a person.
I don't care what you guys are doing. Oh, that was a hallucination. Well, we'll know because I'll hear it on the recording. Well, maybe it was the same person. Maybe that was the person walking behind me. I'm like 65% that was a person blowing a whistle. I've never heard an animal like that in my life. Dude, I don't care. You guys can sell drugs, do whatever the fuck you want. Dude, I don't care. It's not my problem. I'm a pro soft drug person. You know, I think that we should have those things in the world. I don't know why people want to censor the shit out of them. So, you know, if that was a homeless person, I would help you out if I had money. You know, so yeah, I really would. Like, if I had the money, I'd like, you know, I don't know. It's always a weird one, that. So, yeah, with the mental gender, the mind gender stuff, it's like, I don't understand how somebody can sit there and go, oh, non-binary is not a thing, because they didn't see it when they were younger or something. It's because they probably weren't talking about it, or it wasn't just that common enough to see it. You know, it's not. You know, I'm sure there are people who do it because they just want to do it. There are people who like it. They just want to. They like that whole identity. They just want to be a part of it. They just sync with it. You know, regardless if they truly think that they are that or not. I'm sure there are people like that. and that should be respected, in my opinion. But you know, as such, you know, I think that to be, you know, male, female, non-binary, any of those variations, and to have somebody sit there and go, oh yeah, you're not that. It's like, dude, like, you understand that there's actually a mental health disorder that's pretty much like OCD for like gender. At least that's my understanding of it. Like there's like these people will feel uncomfortable, like, because they don't understand, like, it's like what the gender is, because they can't actually make sense of it, like, to the way that other people can, in the way that they can, like, because their brain, like the I guess the brain didn't form correct when it came to the gender identification part. That's part of it, and then so they're struggling, you know, with it, and so they have to find their comfort, and their comfort is male, female, or whatever it is. I mean, it's kind of mad. If you have trans men, that tells you a lot there. That's no hate at trans men or anything, but because there are trans men, that should tell you that it's not just, oh, people just want to be females because females are so-called superior and all this kind of shit, you know. But you know, it's they're sure there's some of that there, but just for some people, you know, they want to be a female because it's superior to them, you know. But that's just it, you know. I'm androgynous. That's, you know, I am androgynous person. I'm a feminine person. You know, I know my biological gender seems to be born male. You know, that's just it. You know, at one point I did think I was you know, transgender. I did actually, for quite a bit, and I was like thinking about getting the surgeries. I was looking up this guy called Dr. Chetawal, and I was gonna possibly get my surgeries with him, and you know, I was gonna do with all that as proper. And sometimes I almost think I want to go that way because I just feel like I have a better quality of life. But then I always go back to like how people are treated because they're trans. I just feel like that. I don't know if I can. Life's so painful for me. Like, that's something I need to talk about actually in the video. You know, it's so emotionally painful, and I'm going to talk about that in the video for real. And because of that, you know, there's this thing. You know, it just to have the potential of it being worse, because I go and elect to have surgeries because I want to have female qualities. You know, I mean, I'm always like, sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should just get boobs, and then I can just dress up effeminate, cross-dresser, and that'd be it. That'd be enough for me, and it would probably, definitely. But then I have to deal with all the bullshit of having actual artificial boobs, basically, that are trying to look real and act real and stuff like that. And it really pisses me off, to be honest, that I can't actually have boobs in some ways. And then there's other ways where I'm like, oh, it's all right. But then I have, like, it's getting a bit TMI, but, you know, I have my own male form boobs, which I don't dislike as such, and have some level of the same things, perhaps even superior in other ways, and in other ways not. You know, so it's kind of this weird thing. You might say, well, where did you get your androgyny from? You know, when you were a kid, you weren't going around saying you were male or female. It was not. It was much more different. For me, I was just sort of in the glare of the sensations, and through that, I was just. It was like there was just. It didn't matter to me if it was male or female. Like the form of it was. It was just sort of like whatever it is, give or take. You know, I don't think I sat there and was like, oh, I want to, you know, be fully male behavior or fully female behavior. It was just like whatever it is, you know, and that's how I kind of see my androgyny, you know. But I still consider myself a biological male, even though my mind gender I consider androgynous. You know, but then there's other people who see it differently. So it's just very strange. Anyways, yeah. So. And then there's females who, you know, have gender dysphoria, or just generally want to be more masculine. So there's this whole thing. It's like there's some people just want to have male behavior, male characteristics. And I know why this, a part of the reason why this happens, and that's part of that is because, you know, they're extroverted, and extroverts tend to go towards being masculine and reflection and radiant type of people, give or take, you know, generally, not all the time, generally. And then people who are female behavior, it's more absorbative. It's you know, it's they want to be more absorbative. They want to be all that kind of shit. It's raining again, which is great. I don't mind that at all. So, I don't know. So I just think that people should be a bit more. There's some more to say about that kind of stuff. You know, I truly like fantasize being an effeminate or androgynous person. You know, I really do. But the thing is, I'm so circumstantially limited that there's parts of me that sort of in real life kind of not shuts it down, but covers it up because of struggling to be that. No, not necessarily even that. So it can be that, of course it is, but it seems like it's a variety of reasons why that would happen. Like people just giving me weird looks, like they're looking at me like, what the fuck, or just trying to do that whole like social, artificial, superficial, which is always superficial thing. And yeah, it's fucked. I just like I say, I'm always like that type of person. Like I'll show you my truest self to my closest person. You know, I'll show some of it on video and stuff like that, but you know, that, and I'm trying to show some of it anyways, to be honest, about the sensation stuff. So that's that. Okay, on to sexuality. Okay, sexuality. That's another one. I just don't understand why people have a problem with it. If you have a problem with homosexuality,
Bisexuality.
pansexuality, polysexuality, any of them, there's demisexual, sapiosexual, any of that, you're brain dead. You're actually fucking brain dead. Like, seriously, what the fuck is your problem? Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit serious here. What the fuck is your problem? Just because some fucking non-existent creator told you that, even if, why would you just be, oh, it's gross, ooh, I don't, you know, I think it's disgusting that people do that kind of, what the fuck are you? It doesn't even make any damn sense. You have intimacy with a fucking female where it's basically a similar thing anyways. Any way you look at it, it's going to be quote unquote gross logically. But what the fuck is wrong with you? You're just brain dead. Like, you probably won't even understand what I'm saying. You don't want to. What other reasons? There's some pathetic fucking reasons. Oh, I think homosexual people, they're so annoying and they just want to flaunt themselves all the time and stuff. Has it ever occurred to you that some people, even that people who are heterosexual, also want to flaunt themselves as well? Yeah, let's just put that out there. So we all want to flaunt ourselves, you know, give or take. I would love to be a fucking slut about my sexuality, about my whole everything. I don't like being all like fucking covered up and invisible just to appease the fucking world. And the problem is, even if I was allowed, I'd have to be around it enough. Outside of family, by the way, I'd have to be around it enough where I feel like, well, okay, everyone else is doing it, so fuck it, I'll do my own version, you know, which is, you know, it's fucking hell. I mean, what the fuck's wrong with that? What's wrong with, like, being a sensually oriented person and wanting to express that outwards through the bounce of our boobs, through the texture of our clothes, or the colours of our clothes, or the way it makes you feel when you look at it? And it's like, well, we've got all these things. We don't want everyone to see it. Well, we cover up. We don't, you know, where we can. Fucking hell, man. So brain dead. There's like no reason why anybody should have a problem with those things. And it doesn't matter what I say anyways. because these fucking neurologically locked people fucking brain dead. Okay, I think, yeah, just fucking stupid. Yeah, don't talk to me if you're against sexuality, by the way. I don't want to ever know you. I'll help you if you need for survival, but I don't want to know you. You're a disgust and disgrace to humanity. As far as I'm concerned, you're fucking ignorant and you're brain dead. Get the fuck out of the world. Seriously. No violence, just words. Okay? And it's an opinion. So feel free to send yours away. If you want to sit there and insult me, go ahead. I don't know what the fuck you're going to say to that, because it makes no damn sense to me. I wonder if I should walk to Tesco's and come back so I can get another video out. I don't know. I want to talk about my emotional pain so bad, but I feel like I don't know. To get a place where I can talk about that. Yeah, it's so fucking hard. I should just do it anyways. Stop talking about this shit and start fucking doing something. I don't know where to talk about it.